I take one day off per week, and it's usually Saturdays. Today happens to be Saturday, luckily enough. And I take it off from active business work. I don't make any cold calls. I don't typically add any leads into my CRM on this day. I typically just spend this day deep in thought, and I try to journal. I try to read. I try to relax and play video games. And I tend to actually make content if Maddie's not home. I don't like to typically make content when Maddie's home or when I have guests in the house. Something about it, obviously, I speak loud, and I don't want to disturb others with me. This is a form of work. I don't consider it to be work, but others would consider it to be work. And I don't want others to feel as if they're being lazy, and I don't want them to judge me as if I'm always working. So I don't make content with other people or around me in the house. I will when it's a business work day and I eventually have employees also here with me working at my dining room table that we just received and built. I will make content on those days just to show you the operations of the office and things of this nature. But I take these days off on Saturdays to really just relax my mind, and I try to force myself into not stagnation, not complacency, but I try to force myself into completely a different mode. And typically how I do that is through some form of distraction. So today I'll be reading books, I'll be playing video games, and I'll try to do everything that I can to not pick up my phone and make a cold call, to not go to my laptop and focus on growth. I may still read and research the market. I may still read and research the economy. I may still do these things which will form thought growth for the business, but I'm trying to stay out of that mode. It's just hard for me to stay out of it completely. I don't want to be there actively working. I don't want to be making cold calls. I don't want to be reaching out to carriers today. I don't want to do active work on the business. If I'm going to do any work, I want it to be strategy. I want it to be thought leadership in terms of pointing direction, explaining vision a little bit further in some form of document that I can then push out to employees. And I want it to be something that would live on forever, for a lack of a better word. I don't want it to be the short-term actions. I want it to be the long-term future planning and growth. If I'm going to be working on it at all, I try to stay away from all of that, but most times I fail. And I'm not upset about that. I just don't want to always be working. As much as I love work and everything, I do want to turn it off. There is a theory and philosophy that you need to have other things outside of your business that you work on for fun, just to put your mind off of it, because then you tend to rest. Your mind doesn't have to be completely at rest, but it needs to rest from what your day-to-day job is and what your day-to-day tasks are and what the outcomes should be, or else you will get that burnt out feeling. And I think I have done a pretty good job at that by forcing myself into Saturdays off where I take rest. I go play golf. I go fishing. I play video games because it's a rainy day outside. And I like creating content on these type of days as well. And it's not because it's just a form of work or anything. I like it because it's a long-term deal making content. I don't expect this to make me any money. I don't expect it to build me an audience. I expect it to be a video thought journal log of who I am, who I was when I look back in 10 years or 20 years or however long, because the internet is forever. And I want to see who I was and how my thoughts processed and what my systems look like and how I may have changed over the years. Because if I look back a year ago at who I was, I don't, it's not that I don't recognize myself. It's that I can just see how I've changed as time has gone on. And I enjoy that. It's fun to see my own growth in life, which is more the purpose of the video documentary that I basically have coming here, and the growth in business and where I was and where I was living at, and where my office was and what my equipment looked like and what my mind looked like and how I looked and what my skin looked like and if I was muscular or not, or if I had veins popping out of my neck. I guess it's on this side. I like to see all these things. This is all data for me, on me. So I like to create the content on any day, but on Saturdays, which is today, I like to take the day off. I like to spend it in thought, and I like to just focus on not business. But take some time off, guys. It might be good for you.